My sister stole my inheritance. The money was supposed to be for both of us, but she took every last cent. It was an act of pure greed, a betrayal that cut deeper than any knife. But she forgot one crucial detail. The will wasn't the only document our mother left behind. And what she didn't know, what she couldn't have possibly anticipated, was about to destroy her entire financial life. I made sure of it. It all started the day we lost our mom. It was the hardest day of my life, a blur of grief and paperwork. In her will, Mom was clear. Everything was to be split 50-50 between me and my sister Claire. Since Claire lived closer to Mom's home, she offered to handle all the legal stuff, the estate, the accounts. I was so overwhelmed with grief, I just agreed. I trusted her. Why wouldn't I? She was my sister. Months went by. The initial shock of Mom's passing began to fade into a dull ache. I tried to check in with Claire about the inheritance, but she was always evasive. It's complicated, she'd say. The lawyers are slow, or there are more debts than we thought. I tried to be patient. I knew these things took time. Then one Tuesday afternoon, I got a text from her. It was a screenshot of a bank transfer, $500. The message below it read, "Hey, sorry it took so long. Turns out Mom didn't leave much after all. This is your share. Let's catch up soon." I stared at my phone, my heart sinking into my stomach. $500? It just didn't make any sense. Our mom was the most frugal person I knew. She worked as a school administrator for over 40 years. She never took lavish vacations, never bought designer clothes. She saved everything. She used to joke that her life's mission was to leave a comfortable nest egg for her girls. She wanted us to be secure, to have a head start. She never did. And all that was left was $1,000 in total. It felt wrong. Deep in my gut, a small, cold knot of suspicion started to form. I tried calling Claire, but she didn't pick up. I sent texts asking for a copy of the final estate documents just for my own records. Her replies were short, dismissive. "I already handled it. Don't worry about it." The more she pushed me away, the stronger my suspicion grew. This wasn't just about the money anymore. It was about respect for her mother's memory. It was about the truth. So I decided to do something I probably should have done from the beginning. I found the name of our mother's attorney from an old email and contacted his office directly. I explained who I was and that I just wanted to get some clarity on my mother's estate. The paralegal who answered was incredibly helpful. She pulled up the file. There was a long pause on the other end of the line. Then she said, "Ma'am, I'm looking at the final distribution ledger right here. The total value of the estate after all debts and fees was $123,451. The air left my lungs. Over $120,000, not 1,000. I felt a wave of dizziness wash over me, and ... and the distribution. I stammered, my voice shaking. "It says here," the paralegal continued, "that the full amount was transferred to an account in the name of Claire Thompson. We have a signed waiver from you on file, forfeiting your half of the inheritance to your sister." A waiver? I had never signed any waiver. I never would. It hit me like a ton of bricks. Claire hadn't just lied to me. She had forged my signature. She had meticulously planned this, counting on my grief and my trust to blind me. She had stolen our mother's legacy, our mother's final gift to us, and hoped I'd be too naive or too timid to question a measly $500. The grief I felt was suddenly replaced by a cold, hard anger. Forgiveness was no longer an option. This was war. My first instinct was to call her, to scream, to demand an explanation. But what good would that do? She'd just lie more. She'd deny everything, gaslight me, and probably move the money where I could never find it. No, a direct confrontation was what she would expect. I needed to be smarter. I needed to be colder. I needed to use the very system she had manipulated against her. So I didn't call her. I didn't text her. I stayed completely silent. Instead, I booked a flight. The next day, I was sitting in the attorney's office. I provided them with samples of my real signature from my driver's license, my passport, and old bank documents. The difference between my signature and the forgery on the waiver was laughably obvious. The attorney's face grew grim. He knew he was looking at a case of serious fraud. With the lawyer's help, my plan went into motion. Step 1, we sent a formal letter to the bank, along with an affidavit and the evidence of forgery. This immediately triggered a fraud investigation and, most importantly, froze the account where Claire had stashed the $120,000. She wouldn't be able to touch a single penny of it. Step 2, we filed a legal challenge in probate court. We weren't just asking for my half. We were contesting the entire distribution based on fraud, forgery, and breach of fiduciary duty. We laid out every lie, every evasive text message, every piece of evidence. Claire was served the papers at her office. I can only imagine the look on her face when she realized her little scheme had blown up. The silence from me must have made her feel safe, but it was the calm before a storm she never saw coming. The court process was brutal. Claire hired a lawyer and tried to fight it. She claimed I had verbally agreed to give her my share. She said the signature was real, but her lies crumbled under the weight of the evidence. The bank's forensic team confirmed the forgery. Text messages showed her deliberately misleading me. Her entire defense fell apart. The judge was not impressed. He called her actions a reprehensible betrayal of familial trust. In the end, the court's judgment was swift and devastating for her. Not only was the original will reinstated, but because of the proven fraud, the judge awarded the entire inheritance to me. All of it, but it didn't stop there. The judge ordered Claire to pay all of my legal fees, plus punitive damages for the emotional distress she had caused. The fallout was catastrophic for her. The court's finding of fraud was a public record. When her employer, a large financial firm, found out, she was fired immediately. How can you work in finance when you've been legally proven to have committed financial fraud against your own family? She lost her 6-figure salary, her reputation, and her career. Suddenly, she was the one with no money. She had to sell her condo to pay the legal fees and the damages she owed me. She called me once, after it was all over. She was sobbing, begging for forgiveness, asking how I could do this to my own sister. I just said, "You did this to yourself, Claire. You stole from our mother's memory out of pure greed. And greed always bankrupts itself, one way or another." I hung up the phone and I have not spoken to her since. Some relationships can't be repaired, and some betrayals can't be forgiven. She stole $60,000 from me, and in the end, it cost her everything. Thanks for listening to my story. If you've ever been through something similar, remember that the truth has a way of coming out. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more stories. See you next time.